If you're watching this particular video, you're doing it because you, like me, are probably red-green colorblind, and you are considering whether it makes sense to get colorblind corrective glasses from Enchroma. And I can say unequivocally, yes, it does. Just to give you a quick idea who I am and why should be listened to when you're listening to all these videos of people crying and being very emotional about seeing colors properly for the first time. My name is Steve Fagan. I'm a criminal defense attorney in the Chicago area. And what that should mean to you is that I'm very skeptical, and I go to trial a lot, and I ask a lot of questions. Well, when I watched those videos, I had a lot of questions and a lot of doubts. I was sure maybe some of these people are being paid. Some of these people maybe are being given a discount. I don't know. Or maybe they're just emotional basket cases to begin with. Well, I want to tell you, that's not the case. I did not have an enormous emotional reaction where I broke down and cried when I put these glasses on. And I actually waited about 2 weeks of wearing these glasses to give you my impressions. And the reason I did that was because I was in the middle of a trial. And I also didn't want to give my first impressions because there's not a lot of reflection going on about what it means to have the ability to see colors the way everybody else does. So I give myself some time to think about it. It really is something that tugs at your heartstrings when you look down at a evergreen style bush, and the bush has berries in it that you never saw. Saw berries that are blue, saw berries that are the other day at the courthouse, there were blue berries in a bush. I don't know if they're blueberries, I don't want to eat them, but they're beautiful. It's really something. I was at a friend's house, and we were talking while I'm adjusting to the glasses, and I see red berries in his bush. And I drove up and I looked at his bush, and I just said, okay, there's a nice green bush. That's another thing. But on my way out, after a few minutes of adjusting to the glasses, I saw there's red berries everywhere. And I didn't see that. I just want to point out that what's so emotional about this, not only is it that it's just plain beautiful, to be able to see the contrasts and the colors and the richness. And if you're wondering where I'm walking, I'm actually taking a walk for 10-15 minutes before I go into my office in a nearby nature center. It's fall. It's a beautiful fall day where it's much warmer than it really have any right to expect in the middle of November in Chicago, but it is what it is. And I think that it goes beyond the visceral reaction just to being able to see the colors itself and the sheer beauty of it, because it is really something. And by the way, my red-green colorblindness was fairly mild in terms of how well I was expecting to react, and expected to react by the Enchroma people to these lenses, because I'm what they call an extreme du-tan, which means my reaction is not going to be as strong as some others, just to let you know. Now, I think there's something, and this maybe comes from my perspective as a trial lawyer, and I do jury trials among other things, is that there is something emotional about having the same experience as others around you, and being able to identify with and connect to the things that they're seeing the same way. Think about when you go see a movie and you can go talk about it afterwards and share your ideas about it, or the visual effects, what you think about the visual effects. Something like that. Just the ability to connect with other people on one more level, right? You smell the same things other people smell, you taste the things that other people taste. You can talk about whether the steak at a particular restaurant is good or chocolate ice cream is better than vanilla. But until you can see why people make a big deal out of evergreen trees, right? To you and me, people who are colorblind in any respect, an evergreen tree is just an evergreen tree. Okay, we get it. It stays green while everything else turns brown in the fall, and it stays through winter, and isn't that nice? Until you see an evergreen tree through these things, it's very hard to understand. What's the big deal? But they're beautiful, I'm telling you. It's really something to see. I find myself asking friends or family who I know have different cars that they enjoy with special colors. Would you please bring that by, or can I come by and check it out? I want to see that color that you think is so special. And I've heard other people say it's so special. One person I know has a Porsche. Anybody who loves Porsches knows their favorite color is Guards Red. Guards Red is a traditional Porsche color. Well, I'm planning to go see what that car looks like for the first time in my life. And I've seen that car probably, I think I've seen that car for close to 30 years. Never seen the color that it really is. I'm looking forward to it. I hope the paint held up. All right, bottom line is, should you spend the money, because it's a significant investment, on a pair of Enchroma glasses? Look, if I didn't have a prescription with progressive lenses because I'm getting older and need help reading, it would have been a no-brainer. I think they're $350, $400. That's not even worth thinking about. Do that instead of buying a radar detector. Do that instead of buying a nice leather jacket. I can't imagine anything that has been more impactful on my experience over the last 2 weeks. I can't think of anything that was a bigger deal. And now, I know this is a small 2 weeks of my life, but I'm not going to share everything that's been going on in the last 2 weeks, but there's been a lot. Bottom line is, absolutely, without a question, look around. This is the middle of November, and I'm picking out little purples. I'm picking out things that I have never in my life known were there. My son loves a particular kind of tree, for example, called the Japanese maple. I always thought it was a big deal. What's a big deal about a Japanese maple? And then I saw one, and now I understand. And you will too. I think it's worth it. And if you'll take my opinion, you should. You should definitely pull the trigger. I'm not getting paid anything. I'm not getting offered anything for this. Maybe I get 8 minutes of your time or so that you might want to look at my face and hear my voice, and lawyers do love to hear ourselves talk. But the reality is, the emotional experience that you see these people go through in these Enchroma videos, that's real. It's the emotional experience that I had trying these on and enjoying them for the last couple of weeks that prompted me to spend this time to talk to you. And that should tell you something right there. Because it really is a special thing. And I don't want to take these glasses off when I go in a building. I don't. I'm hoping, by the way, my kind of colorblindness, they're telling me at Enchroma it's not so clear that the clear vision glasses will have the same effect. But I think eventually I'm going to save up my pennies and go and get them just to see. Because frankly, if they do, it would make me a very happy man. So I hope I helped you understand a little bit about what this is. And I really could go on for another 10, 15, 20 minutes talking to you about little things that I noticed, like the difference between my recycling can and my garbage can. One is green, one is brown. The green's so dark, I really can't usually tell the difference between the two. And if you're not a colorblind person, you are absolutely not going to understand what I'm talking about. There is no way to explain it. If you are, I hope I helped. Have a good one.